Welcome, everyone.
He was active earlier. I know he's AFK.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thank you for waiting, watching me eat my food. Glad you're here. We're about to get started here pretty soon. Corey, KT Bonefish, he's going to give us a rundown of what's going on and all that kind of fun. So, thanks for being here. Bye. Getting started here, shortly. Hopefully. You're gonna have to hear me masticate for a little while I chew my food. Yeah, let's make sure that's turned down. There you go. Should be good. King Joe, I'm gonna make sure.
Usually he's getting dinner right about now, so.
So
Just show me you.
I'm in. I'm just checking.
You're not sitting in your chair.
So I'll leave it up to you guys if we want to play with two people down tonight or not.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing Ephraim's character die.
Yep. That's 3 strikes. It deserves a die.
Loot his body. Find anything valuable.
Donkey-sama!
Oh.
Joe, you ready to loot Ephraim's body?
Uh-huh.
I'm ready. Because he came in here and then decided to play Leagues instead.
Oh.
How rude. Ephraim, if you're listening to me, I think you're rude. You come play with us.
Christian can always get a character created in 2 minutes. There's pre-mades for a reason.
True.
Like, the bird could regurgitate him or something.
And there's a halfling on the ground.
Something like that. We don't need another midget.
More midgets!
I mean, you guys are what? The tiefling and the midgets or something like that?
Yes, pretty much.
Name as you came up.
Here I thought it'd just be cool, you know, play a gnome. I've never played a gnome before. I should play one. Yeah.
For those that have the bandwidth, and you don't mind, if you want to open up fuzzy-squirrel.tv in the background, mute it, be much obliged. You can also turn it down to like 130p, so it makes it super low bandwidth. I just found that out. What do you
He
think?
brought all the way over to.
Oh, that's so nice of him. Bird. Little dog. Little dog. What, babe?
I'm in that. So hard to get. And
Your head in it. Don't hurt me! Don't! Run away!
okay. And we got a trash can.
Ah, this music has got me all Arabian Nighty. Arabian night in the Arabian days.
Alright, is everybody ready to get started then again?
Yep.
Becca here and everything?
If here you mean she's doing her.
Yes, I know, Preston.
Your thing's pointing up again.
Alright.
The
So,
whatever it's called.
recap what happened last time. You guys left off from Calimport in search of the oasis that is called the Sweet Spring Oasis, not plural. You're doing this on behalf of Pasha Azari. He wants to take over the trade routes there at this oasis, take it away from Pasha Misfar. So you guys left out through the desert, traveling through the wastes of different kinds right now. As you guys can currently see, you've most recently been drawing on my board and going through rocky canyons.
I can't see past the smiley face.
Yes. Yes. About that.
Ah!
Yes.
They're gone!
You guys have been going through the desert. Faced a few different challenges so far. You've encountered normal desert stuff, snakes, camels. You've seen meteor showers in a clear night. And so, as it was, you guys decided to be traveling by night. So by day, you guys were resting in the shade of some rocks in this canyon here for a little bit here. While a few of you were resting or studying spells, Estella and Timmy decided to go out exploring, and Timmy, on the way back, decided it's a great time to get drunk. And by drunk, I mean utterly wasted.
Half-baked.
So it's at the point he is super drunk and he is super dehydrated right now. So as a reminder, for the next 8 hours, Timmy, so the next basically day, as long as you don't drink some more, you currently have disadvantage on all your attacks, and then your dehydration causes a not illusion. Gosh, what is that the word I'm thinking of here? You can't see straight, so you basically you have a chance to attack your fellow teammates here because you can't tell them from an enemy because everything's all blurry around you. Double vision going on everywhere. So so as you guys were coming down, Becca was dragging Sneaky, heavy body, drunk body, trying to drag it back, and then all of a sudden, a large shadow overshadowed them, and you two heard a flap,
Yes, it
a
did.
huge flapping
Does it
sound.
have any sauce?
And at the same time, the rest
Where's
of the
my
party,
honey
so Flint,
There's only two of them.
Oryx, and
Oh,
our Heelbot,
sorry, I thought it was
doesn't
big.
deserve name anymore. Heelbot decided, or we're starting to meet up with guys because it's evening time. It's around 5-6 p.m. now. You guys were just about getting ready to leave, so they were meeting back up with you, and so they met on the inside. So they see this giant bird approaching, and I can't scroll over them.
Make sure that the bird doesn't eat his loot, please.
He's not even there.
Well, if you kill the bird, he'll be in his belly then, won't it?
Okay, deal.
It's
huge!
Yes. So what you guys have encountered is what is considered a giant, or a lesser rock. So a rock, ROC, being considered a gigantic bird. So this is one of the lesser varieties of it. And even its lesser one is gigantic compared to any other bird you guys have seen here. And it's currently hovering about 10-15 feet off the ground right now. As it's coming down, it's letting out big old squawks. So I want everybody to go ahead and roll for initiative. You have the tokens up, so you can click and do the macro if you want. Roll for our And everybody should be full health because you guys did get a long rest in. So if you have health missing, restore it.
Okay. I will fix that one moment.
Pull the stat sheet here. Sure, got everything done. Yes. Okay. Let's that down. Close the modifiers. Okay. Is that thanks, Sneaky? You're the
As a
only
big
one we need
bird.
to roll initiative on.
Especially compared to little tiny people.
Oh, am I doing it wrong? Hold on.
No, I see yours. Well, you
I
rolled a
rolled-
6.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, you just rolled it straight. So as an FYI, you should see a initiative roller button on the left side of your screen somewhere.
If you click on the token.
Oh yeah. But it's fine. I can add you in like this. So it should be everyone.
I would click it now, but then it wouldn't be unfair because then I would get a different roll.
That's right. All right.
Yeah,
So as it stands now, so this thing is coming back upon you. It doesn't surprise anyone here because it's just so big. It's really hard to be surprised by this.
Are the two little people in visible range where we're standing?
So you guys are about. Let's see here. You guys are about 50 feet behind the rock here. They're about 30-35 feet in front of it.
Okay.
You guys can see them on the ground there because it is hovering higher than they are.
Gotcha. We see a giant shadow.
Yeah, I mean you guys see the bird coming down
Yep.
from that distance. So it's ginormous, dude. It has like a 50-foot wingspan right now. So let's measure this, guys. 50 foot? Yeah, close enough. So yes. So Becca, it's your turn here. You're currently we're dragging a giant body. Or a giant body, a giant body. So what would you like to do here now that it's coming your way? And I believe you guys all should have inspiration dice, which allows you to roll a 1d10 bonus to whatever roll you want to do. So just be aware of that. So you all should have one still. I need to open up.
Yeah, I still can't add my thing back.
Alrighty. Let's see what we got.
Alright.
Add
Let's
quote back.
capture it and make it fly us around.
Is it on fire?
It looks like it. Oh, that's cool. Alright, I'd like to maybe roll perception and see if I would know how intelligent this beast is.
Okay, go ahead and roll a nature check for me, please. Okay, so from what you can tell, and from your knowledge of beasts, this bird, it's of average animal intellect. It is not an extremely intelligent animal, but it's a avid hunter of the Great Deserts. So you know it has some cunning to be able to hunt prey big enough for it to eat. So
All right.
not as smart as any other bird of prey, though.
Okay, so I want to cast Animal Friendship.
Okay. Can you go ahead and link it for me? Oh no, I'll memorize these one of these days here. Okay, so you're currently not in range of it right now. You're
Oh, I have to be
just
closer.
Yeah, because I mean, its head's 40 feet from you at the moment. So.
Okay, well then I guess I have to move forward a smidge before I can cast that.
Okay. And do you have some sort of food component to give it? Because I know most of your supplies are on the camels that are back with Oryx and everything, so I don't know if you were carrying any chunks of meat that picked up at some point for some reason. So, something that can entice it to be your friend.
Okay, I have some rations on my explorer's pack.
Okay, we can try. Okay, so where are you gonna move to on it there?
Well, and a morsel of food. I mean, that would water be enticing, or just a ration?
Food in this case. That's
okay. So just food, no water, no drink.
You could feed it sneaky. or Rurik.
Works on the wrong side. Can't do that one. So is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna feed it a morsel of food then, Becca?
Sorry, what was that?
You're gonna feed it a morsel of food? Is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna advance 10 feet, and then I'm gonna cast it and feed it the ration that I have, and see how it goes.
Okay. So you get closer here. You throw a piece of food at it, and it's still you get 10 feet closer, but it's still 10, 15 feet. So you're chucking this thing. So because it's so far away, go ahead and do an athletics check. Let's see if you can chuck that piece of food close enough for it. Be enticed. Okay, so you chuck the food, and just the way the rations are, a gust of wind just blows and it flutters, and it gets semi-close, but it lands underneath it instead of getting up near its mouth. So the animal is enticed by it, and it's paying attention to the food at the moment here. So it slowly it reduces its wing beating till it can land on the ground, and going for the food. So I'd say it hasn't been friendshipped yet, but once it gets to the food here, it could be.
Right, especially since I cast it and it has a. If it doesn't take, I mean, it says my duration is 24 hours. So
okay.
How does that work?
At this point, I'd say it would take if it got the food. So, but because the food didn't reach it, I'd say it wasn't enticed to become friendly, or at least for you to be able to communicate friendliness with it. So, but it does see that, so it's not immediately threatening you guys. It's because you did throw out food, no matter how small a morsel there. So.
Okay, so would I need to cast it again potentially, or once it's engaged with the food, then it would maybe take effect, or how does that work?
I would say once it gets to food. So what will happen on its turn? It's enticed by food, so it will go to it unless some other action makes it decide otherwise. No.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, and was that a spell or a cantrip there?
Sorry.
No idea what this is.
Sorry, hold on, we got a cranky baby.
You're fine.
Interrupting.
No. What?
Because I believe if it's cantrips, it's just minor action, so could do something else, I think. So as it stands, guys, the bird is going after the food because it's hungry right now. So she threw it some food, so it's going after the package of food there. And so it's not entirely hostile to you yet.
Okay. Just forego whatever Becca's doing. We'll go to the next part.
So, you see the bird start lowering and getting closer to the ground here. It's now about 8 feet off the ground, slowly coming down. It's focused on something you're not entirely sure what. You couldn't entirely see what Becca did from that distance. So, what would you like to do? Okay. So that's fine. So go ahead and roll stealth with advantage because its back is towards you. Okay, 19. Great. So you're able to move however further you want there to get closer to it. You can obviously tell it's a giant bird of some sort. You've heard, I mean, rumors of giant birds that roam the countrysides of various nations here. So you're maybe not exactly sure what it is, but it's some sort of rock of some kind. Okay, yeah, so you start knowing down various details about the bird. Size, height, sharpness of its talons.
Yep, I want to keep it in my thing. And I would like to hold my action, if I can.
Okay.
My trigger will be, if the rock becomes hostile, I'm going to cast... I'm going to cast... Eldritch Blast.
Okay. All right, so
if it becomes hostile, so
that brings me back to Rurik's turn here. So Rurik, he's currently with the animals at the moment, holding them back so they don't bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead. He's gonna just do a simple strength check to make sure he can hold on to the animals and they don't go crazy. Okay. So. So, you guys have 4 camels, and these camels, as they see this giant bird come down, they just start freaking out. He's a strong dwarf, but he can't hold 4 camels in check here, and they break away from the reins here he has, and he loses all control of them, and they start just going crazy, running all over the place, trying to get away from it. So that's his turn. So at the moment, you guys have your camels running around the area here. Just no. All right. So the rock sees the package of food thrown, and it can't be a small morsel because this is a big bird. So she threw a pretty good, sizable chunk of rations towards this thing. Entice it here, and it sees it. It's slowly going down, and. It finally decides to land on the ground here. Its wings outstretched for balance. It's not easy. This is a bird that likes to stay in the air most of the time, just because it's where it feels comfortable to bulk. So it gets down on the ground here, and it starts pecking and clawing at the package of food here, ripping it open, trying to get to whatever's inside of it. So at the moment, it's currently enticed by this. So it currently is taking no action towards you guys other than trying to eat at the food and nibble at it at the moment. So it's currently enticed by that. Timmy, what would you like to do? You see the bird land down after Becca threw food at it. From the way your vision currently is, from your impairment, you can't see your teammates on the other side of it too well, especially now at this point since it's landed. What would you like to do?
I'm just surprised I'm conscious. Okay,
delirious.
I'm delirious. Okay. I'm gonna rummage through my bag and pull out a second bottle because this kind of monster definitely wants another drink.
Okay. Alright. So you're not helping your case here, so would you like to do anything else other than taking a drink or two? I don't know how much you're drinking, so if you swallow in seconds, about the max you can do.
I'm not going to drink it, I'm just going to get the bottle ready.
Okay.
Because this is a huge bird, and I don't think I'm thinking straight, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything other than wet myself. That's great.
Okay. You just want to stay there? You want to move at all? No.
But where's all the rum gone?
I'll probably wander up to there. Yeah.
Okay, so you're following along with her just a little bit.
What is Stella? Well, why? Where's all the rum gone?
All right. Flint, it is currently your turn. You have a few camels stampeding around you, so go ahead and do a dexterity check for me. So dodge out of the way of them. A dexterity saving throw, that is. Dexterity or dexterity saving throw, it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. All right, great. So you have camels. You're dodging left and right. You're very agile. These camels are giving you no issue here. They're stampeding around you, trying to get away. Because you guys, I mean, it's rocky terrain around you, so there's some bigger boulders and everything, but, you know, nothing huge, just enough where they can't walk in straight lines very well. So what would you like to do, Joe? You see the Oryx start, you know, crouching down, getting closer, and then he pulled out his notebook as expected.
Can I, like, attempt to calm the camels or something?
Yeah, so you do it. Let's see if you can catch a couple of the camels first, though. So go ahead and do an athletics check. See if you can run up and catch the reins and okay. So you get 2 of the camels. You catch 2 of the camel reins. So they're still going crazy though. So go ahead and do an animal handling check.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, not one very used, but it's just these instances. Okay, so even though you catch the camels, they're going nuts still. You know, they're jerking their heads, trying to get away. So I need you to do a what check did I have someone do before? Athletics? Yeah, athletics check. No, strength check. Sorry, athletics strength. It's the same. All right, so 8. All right, so they're bucking around. They're going nuts. One of the camels breaks free again from even your grasp and runs off. So you're holding one just barely at the moment here.
I we turned off last time because they all got jacked up.
Going nuts. You have one
I think
barely
no one else
held
is connected.
So.
Can I, like, lead it somewhere so it calms down, or?
Not that I know of, no.
You can lead it further away somewhere or tie it down somewhere, whatever you'd like to do. Just move up to your movement speed of direction. So.
Yeah, just move away from the bird.
Okay.
And then maybe look for a place to tie it down.
Alright, so you see about 15 feet back behind you, there's a good-sized rock with that's not too wide that you think you can safely wrap the reins around. And you can go and do it there if you'd like. So.
Okay.
Alright.
Tie it down.
Okay, so I think you've used about half your movement speed, so you can come back if you want, or you can stay back there with the camel. What would you like to do?
Is it? Can I try again with the other camels?
So that would count as your action, I would say here.
Right, but just go get ready to try again.
Okay, yeah. So you'll come back here. You can attempt it on your next turn or something.
Okay.
All right. So Stella, the bird is successfully eating it. So at this point, it's starting to get enticed. You believe, just the amount of food you threw it just is almost insignificant to the bird. So even though it's not hostile, I would say it's not entirely friendly yet either. So it's neutral at the moment.
Okay.
So you neutralize it.
Is it my turn again then? Sorry.
Yes.
Right, that's really good.
Alright, well I am going to approach another 10 feet.
Okay.
And I would like to throw another 2 rations.
Okay. Alright, so you throw another 2 rations, and this time you're close enough, you get it right in front of it there, you know, plop, plop. The bird makes a little jumping motion, you know, you startle a little bit by the side of these things, and it starts ripping to these. And at this point, I'd say it's friendly to you. It's not openly hostile unless other actions. So at this point, it's friendly, and you're able to convey that you mean it no harm. So.
Okay, and the bird hasn't moved at all, right?
No, it's still in the same position. It's just now on the ground, pecking at the.
Okay, so you had me. Did you just move me up 10? Correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to move a little closer. I've got 25 total.
Okay, yeah,
So
you definitely
maybe
can.
just another 15.
Okay, so right up in front of it, like there. Is that what you're intending?
Yeah. Can I touch it?
You can. You know. I mean,
Would it require another action to throw one more ration?
I would allow it as a minor if you're pulling out your value.
Okay.
I think that's okay.
So I'd like to give it one more ration.
Worst case scenario, you get hungry, we eat the bird.
All right. So you've given it about 5 days worth of food now here at this point, just to ensure its friendliness here. The bird is, it's eating away at the food, but it's not shying away from you. You at least. I wouldn't say anybody else, but it's not shying away from you. So.
Okay, so is it technically charmed by me?
The birds aren't charmed because it just knows you mean no harm, so it's not threatened by you.
Okay, so did my animal friendship take any effect on it, where it had to like roll a wisdom saving throw or anything?
No, it doesn't meet the criteria for that.
Okay, so its intelligence is higher.
It's lower.
Oh, okay. All right. So I've spent my action, correct?
Yeah, doing all the food.
Okay, that's totally fine. I am done.
All right, Oryx, you see the bird just making motions in front of it. Its bulk is so big you can't entirely tell what it's doing. The feathers are kind of blocking the view even from where you're at here. You just know it's doing pecking motions at the ground and clawing at something with vigor.
Okay.
How you interpret that, I don't know.
Okay. Am I on like the ridge of a sand dune, or am I?
At this point, it's kind of just rocky. I wouldn't say boulders, but small. I mean, maybe height-sized rocks and everything around the area here.
Okay.
And pretty flat otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty flat. It's sandy area in between all the rocks and everything, but it's not like lots of sand. So it's mostly rocky at the moment. So.
Okay. And looking back over my shoulder, because I've been sketching, assuming that it doesn't see me, and looking back where Flint and Rurik are the camels still being crazy?
So you see that Flint was able to tie down one camel. You can see it there, and the other ones, you see him and Rurik chasing after the other two, trying to grab them and tie them down as well. So you see the camels going all weaving in between the rocks here, trying to get away, but they're not smart enough to know.
I'm gonna scramble and try and help them corral them in that case, because I would view those as more important. Having recorded information about this bird, I would expect the next thing I would do is try and secure my ride. I don't want to walk.
Right. So the camels are way back 30 feet away from you still. So
I'm gonna run back.
You're gonna run back?
Yep.
Okay. So I need you 1 second. Do another stealth check here.
That would be a 6 plus a stealth. 0. That's a 6.
Oh, did you manually roll it?
I'm sorry. Yes, I roll them manually.
So what was it?
It was a 6.
Okay. So you turn around, you get up, and you start, because you see the commotion going on behind you, and you drop your stuff, or you quickly pack it. You start running back, and no concern for noise here, because you're wanting to get those animals before they run away here, because they have your critical supplies. And the noise you're making startles the rock here, and it lets out a chirp and hops around, and it's eyeing you very weirdly here. Becca, you're still in visual range of it, so just So it's currently like this right now. So it's still in your visual range, but it's definitely on alert because of these new people it sees, and that startled it behind it. So just be aware.
Put that bird on notice. Go down.
Yes. So, all right. So you get back there. You run back there, Preston. So go ahead and do an athletics check and see if you can even catch up to a camel.
You
running around
sure
here,
you want to do athletics? You don't want to do like...
I know, athletics is the worst for me.
That would be a 10 minus 1, 9.
9. Okay. So a camel, you get back there and a camel just dashes by you here. And you reach out trying to grab it, but the range shift just right, just outside your fingertips here, they slip away. So you're not able to get one. Unfortunately this turn.
Always.
Rurik, ashamed of being the turd head he is for losing the camels here, he's gonna, of course, continue to try and gather them. Okay, so
of course he does well.
Yeah, so he catches up to one of the camels here, and he grabs the reins here. So now he's gonna attempt to hold the reins this time, and he barely does. He's, his feet are slightly coming off. As the camel
I'm gonna go play leagues, guys.
Yeah. Tries to get away. He's barely holding it back here, but it's not. He's not holding it well enough that he can lead it to tie it down right now. He's barely holding it, so there's no change for him at the moment. The lesser rock here, it's startled and it turned around and now it sees in front of it camels running around. So some of its favorite foods, in fact. Running around in front of it.
Don't you dare eat my camel toe!
You guys as well, and this is all thanks to you, Oryx here, and it lets because you startle, it's Bill. Man, that sounds really weak for such a magnificent bird. I bet. It sees the camels there, and no, it's not concerned with you guys at the moment here. Becca's charm has relayed that at the moment. It starts flapping its wings because it sees much tastier prey that will feed it much better here. So it starts flapping its wings and gets about 10 to 15 feet in the air once again, and starts slowly going towards you guys as it's trying to gain height so we can go and grab it here. Becca, so it's starting to fly away from you. It's not threatening you guys, it's just going after the camels kind of thing.
So you said it's up in the air 10 feet?
How far? About 10, 15 feet up in the air.
And then how far in front of me is it?
About 5 feet away from where it lifted off.
Okay.
Okay, so Timmy, you see the bird, starting to flap and go nuts here. What would you like to do? Becca is, being animal handler.
I don't know if I can have anything helpful that I can do. Hey, Bed, give me a ride.
Your yelling has no obvious effect.
Can I come with you, you pretty bird thing? I've got booze.
You can go ahead and roll a persuasion check, though it won't do anything. We'll just see how it, push a little bit.
The drunken rock.
Okay. So left side value 23 there. We'll go by. Oh no, yeah, you don't have to do disadvantage for this. It's only just attacking. So the bird hears your compliments and everything, though it obviously is not going to react because it doesn't understand you, but somehow intuitively knows. And if it had cheeks, they would rose up a little bit here. And blushes and bird. I don't know what bird blushing is like. It's feet. Its feet get a little bit redder instead of the normal tannish yellow color. They get a little bit redder around the ankle joint.
Hey, chicken.
That's how a bird blushes.
We could go back to your nest.
This is a.
And then as you hear some Kenny G playing in the background.
No. No.
Because there's no. No.
All right. So Flint, you've tied down to one camel here, and you've come back trying to get the other ones, and all you start hearing thumping sounds again. The sound of the wings beating, and you look up and you see the giant bird coming towards you guys. From your point of view, you have no idea if it's hostile or not. You guys don't know what Becca really did to it. You just see it coming towards you guys in the camel. Yeah, this giant bird.
I get in a defensive position.
Okay. You're pulling out your what's it, hammer, war axe, your weapon,
my battle axe, and my shield probably.
Okay, so you're going one-handed on it. Okay, so you ready up. You stance towards it here. Go ahead and while you're doing this, I want you to go ahead and do a sleight of hand check for me here, please.
Sleight of hand.
Okay, so as you know, you're getting your shield up and ready here. You position it, and just the way you position it, starts shining like a beam of light in the bird's face here. It's not blinding it, but the sun's reflecting off your shield just right. So it's seeing it. The bird is seeing again flashed by this beam of light from your shield.
Yo, did you just flash that bird?
Maybe.
First, Timmy's trying to schmooze him, and then you flash him.
Man, midget's gone wild here.
I know. I'm gonna have to go and change our thing to not family friend. Sorry, guys. This is for mature audiences only.
All right. So Joe, you're just preparing yourself there, just waiting for it, in case it comes at you. Is that the way I'm hearing it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Estella, you see the bird flying away from you guys here. You see it going towards the camels here, and you see of course, your companions are down the way there, trying to corral the camels. You see Joe.
Here, camera.
See Joe, kind of get I wouldn't say star look, but a kind of a grim look on his face here because he sees the oncoming animal here, and its shield is ready, and the shield you see the shield reflecting light, though you don't know it's shining the bird's face. So, but the bird's flying away from you at this point, distracted by better food. But it's not hostile towards you or supposedly your companions.
Alright. I'm gonna try something crazy.
Okay.
I am going to get my rope out and try my best to... Actually, you know what? Never mind that.
No bird riding.
Bird rodeo. Yeah.
I don't know if that would count as hostile action or not towards the bird.
I am going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, what's the range on it?
In my spell it doesn't say. I'm gonna have to look it up. It just says from self and then nothing. So let me look.
Okay, so there's no, so it just gives you comprehension of animal speech and where you can communicate with them. So it's going to be affected by normal communication ranges.
Okay, so would
right now it's about 20-ish feet. Its head's about 20-ish feet from you, so it's still within somewhat listening range.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go 10 feet. So like I'm directly underneath it, but it's still, you said 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna move a little bit closer, right underneath it, and we're gonna have a little conversation.
Okay, so you start running towards it here, right there. You're about there. So what would you like to try telling it to do, or try telling it?
Okay. I want to say what can we do to become friends?
The bird squawks back. We are already friends. You gave me food, but I see more food. I need to feed my chicks.
Okay, what food is intriguing you so much?
You know, it squawks out an indicator for the running.
Right? Is it my friends or is it the camels?
It's definitely talking about the big juicy water humps. The big hump animals. It's indicating. It doesn't really know the word for camel, but you know that it has its. That's what you get from it. It's talking about the camel.
Okay. So you are a mama bird, is that right?
It tells you no, that's wrong. It's just rocks are, you know, parentful birds, and it's its duty to be out hunting at the moment, so it can switch with its mate back at the nest. So it's a male bird.
Oh, it is a male.
Okay.
Okay.
It is a male. The parents switch duties like penguins. Go out for season.
Awesome. Okay, I say I would like to offer you one of those camels if we could create a bond and have you be our friend and help us with whatever we need in this desert.
Okay. Because you have animal friendship, go ahead and try persuasion with advantage. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Okay. So you speak this to us. The bird, it indicates interest in your deal here because it'd be guaranteed food, but it's also relaying to you that it could acquire the food itself if it wants, since it's there for the taking. I'll say this because even though it has bond with you, it cares about its chicks and its mate more than it does the bond.
Okay, then I say if you try to take the camel without permission from me, then my friends will not be very happy and they'll most likely try to hurt you. And then you can't care for your young.
Okay. So are you saying that in a more informatory tone, or it's kind of a threat?
No, there's no threat. It's just an informative.
Okay. Bird, do one more persuasion check here. See if that convinces it. Okay, so 23. Alright, so the bird, you know, it stops advancing, hovers in the air there while listening to you, because it obviously would not like to get hurt while hunting, because it could, you know, disable it from getting around if it does. So it listens, and the bird squawks back. I will only obey, follow, or leave away your things if you provide me with 2 of them. It wants to take 2 of the camels back with it. And it tells you if you do this, it'll have a bond of peace and will not hunt you or your companions.
Offer a camel and the cleric.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
Or the drunken gnome.
I actually want to cast Beast Bond on it.
Oh, I don't know what that does.
Right, but I mean, it would have to be on my next turn. But that's where I'm going. Like,
Think you're running out of time? Orcs just might go batshit crazy. Start killing stuff.
yeah, okay. Because that's gonna work.
Okay, so while you could cast that, just be aware it only lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. So he's agreeing to a bond that I wouldn't have to cast a spell.
Yeah, it's basically, it'll stay neutral and will not hunt your parties as long as you can have 2 of the camels. So, 2 of them.
Alright, so I'm gonna pause talking with Senor Birdman.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna holler at my companions. Well, actually, I have a little movement speed or movement.
Yeah, I'd say at this point the conversation, you can't do any more conversion just because that's about it for your turn here. You can finish moving up if you'd like, but I'd say no more speech just at the moment here. Just with how much you've been doing on it. So, but the moment the bird is just hovering in air, about 15 feet above you. So, but
okay.
So would you like to move? Is that what you're
yes, I want to advance. I think I only moved 10, so another 15 in front of the bird.
All right. So you start running up towards your companions here, who.
And can I like be waving like a signal to stop?
Yeah. So you start waving your hands at them, trying to get their attention here. How are you waving to indicate stop here? Because in my mind, you're just like waving your hands trying to get their attention because you're 50 feet away. So you're still quite a bit of distance. Not 50 feet anymore. 35, 40 feet away.
Okay, so I'm signaling like across my body, my arms going out like no stop.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see if
depending on how perceptive they are, yeah.
See what signal they're getting here. Oryx, you're running around trying to capture camels. You see Rurik. He's holding on to one camel, but he's barely keeping control of it. And Flint, you're not paying attention to him. You don't see him running around anymore. So what would you like to do?
So there's one that's still struggling, but the other camels are chill? Ish?
No, one camel is tied down, one is being held by Rurik, 2 more are still running around.
Okay.
And as you know, you're looking around here trying to figure out your next move here. You do see out of the corner of your eye Becca coming your way, making wild gesturing motions. Though you're not directly looking at her yet, just to know what it is, or even trying to interpret.
Okay. I want to. Not what I want. I'm checking this to see if it's going to reduce their move speed. I'm going to try and cast Ray of Frost on one of those damn candles. Make them stop moving! Okay. So he's going to cast Ray of Frost.
I need to find camels' hit points. And that is a 22 against it there. Okay. Go ahead and roll its damage.
It's only 2 cold damage.
So
and then when it's hit, its speed's reduced by 10 to the start of my next turn.
Great. So you cast your Ray of Frost at one of the camels. It hits it dead center, and this thing, it starts slowing way down.
Chill out.
Its muscles are cold and everything at this point. It stops moving. It's still, it's slow trot. How about that? It's going about slow trot.
And would I be able to? I assume that'd be an action to try and quell it, right?
I'll let you do it as a minor action to try and grab the reins, but that's it.
Okay, I want to try and grab the reins.
Okay, so athletics check again.
That is a 2.
2. All right.
-1. That's a 1.
Okay, so even though it's slowed down, it's still, it jerks its head out of the way and still dodges your hands. You're unable to grasp it.
Pardon. Okay, that's pretty much it for my turn.
Okay. Rurik, he's gonna try and hold down camel. Alright, he is still having no luck with his camel. It's just jerking him all the way about here. He's still holding on to the reins, but barely. He's getting thrown all around, getting dragged by the camel at this point. So he's getting dragged off this way.
Bye-bye.
Rock. the rock, you know, it hasn't heard your decision yet, Becca. So it, you know, it's hovers midair for a few seconds, flap, still trying to decide what it wants to do here, and so it's gonna hold off for, you know, I'm gonna let it hold off for a couple rounds here, and see if you can get your message relayed across any sooner. If you can't with here, not a couple rounds, a couple people's turns. If you don't get your message relay off, it's gonna start advancing forward because it hasn't heard back. Or did you agree with it to give it what it wants?
I said I'm gonna go talk to my companions.
Okay, so yeah, it'll hold off for a few people's turns just while Timmy, you see the bird, you know, it's just hovering there. You see Becca running away from it, or Estella running away from it. And bleary-eyed in the distance, you see the movement of like 10 camels running around, and like a couple tieflings and like 6 dwarves over there. An odd number of people that look just like your companions are just running around chasing after camels left and right.
I'm going to cast Fireball.
On what? Where? To do what?
Just in at the direction of the bird.
Okay, you're welcome to. Okay. Do you have Fireball?
No.
Okay, so how you plan to do this? You know, you just making gestures like you're a mage, you know.
Well, he is smash drunk.
He is. Yeah, you know, I just want to know. Trying to cast a fireball, you know.
I'm gonna make the hand gestures that Naruto uses for his jutsu, and cast.
He can't even finish his sentence.
Hadouken!
So you start making wild hand gestures, and it's not going well because you have a bottle in one hand, so it's a drunken mess. And you know, you're making gestures, and nothing comes out of it though. You know, no poof of magic or anything here. You don't feel any touch of the arcane, and unfortunately, no fireball comes forth. All right.
I think it's my turn.
Okay. Flint, you're facing the rock here. You see it hovering in midair at the moment. You see Becca running at you, making a gesture. I need you to go ahead and do a perception check to see if you can understand this gesture.
Perception.
Flint is the brightest among us. He can do it.
Okay. So it's your seer off in the distance that, you know, the hazy sun, the hazy heat from the sun is kind of distorting it a little, but you get the general idea. It means either one of two things. It means either, you know, stop, or danger, help me, kind of thing. You know, like you can't entirely tell just from the distance and the heat waves that she's like making a stop symbol or you know, wave her hands in the air trying to get your guys' attention for help kind of thing. So that's where you stand. So you're still on guard, so you're just not sure if you've narrowed it down to either danger or not.
Danger, Will Robinson.
So the bird's facing me or her?
Yes. I mean, she's in between you two. She's running towards you, waving her arms, and the bird's behind her, flapping. You see both things.
So I continue in my defensive posture and start going towards Stella.
Okay. And how far would you like to move up?
Can I get to her?
How much movement speed do you have?
I'm 25.
So you can get about there.
Okay.
So,
am I supposed to be moving my character?
You can if you want, or I can do it. Whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You have control. So you start running towards here. Your axe at the ready. So you run towards her, axe at the ready here. What would you like to do?
I guess inquire of what she needs.
Okay. So Becca, you're about 10 feet away from him there. He's running at you with axe and shield at the ready. What are you trying to relay to him?
Okay. I say, whoa. You don't need your weapons. I've got an arrangement that we can make. Okay, we can make this bird our friend. So let's put our weapons away so it doesn't get the wrong idea.
Does she still have beast speech enabled?
Yes.
So she's going, rah, 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 and he's like, I don't know what you're saying.
No.
Dang it.
No.
It's just like when you know multiple languages, Chris.
That would have been funnier.
That would have been.
Alright. So Joe, she relays that it's not a danger to you yet, so you can take that however you need.
I'll put my axe away.
Put it away then?
Maybe
okay.
Continue holding my shield just in case.
Okay, yeah. So how about So you lower your axe here. You start putting it back in your belt loop or however you hold your axe here. You're putting it away here. Hey, but your shield is still at the ready. You're glaring at this bird because this is a very big bird. You're realizing as you ran closer, like this thing is massive, could easily grab you in its talons with no problem. All right, Estella, you get your message across as you're running away from the bird, arms waving wildly. What else would you like?
All right, I'm gonna continue talking to Flint and say we can get this bird on our side if we give up 2 of our camels. What are your thoughts?
Will it let us ride it? Or do you want to ride it?
I'm not sure, but I know it will not attack us, and it will. It'll be friendly towards us. So the potential's there.
Can we put all our stuff on the remaining camels?
Yeah, I don't see why not, especially since we have the extra that we got.
Most of us are walking anyways, so I don't see a problem with it.
So the camels are carrying, you guys had 3 supply camels. You found 1 riding camel or a saddle on it here. And if you were to take 1 camel's load and put it on the other 2, it's almost to the point it would be too much for those 2 camels. Because this is like camping supplies, cooking supplies, food, water, lots of water kind of thing. So you guys would potentially have to give up some of your survival gear here.
I think it's worth it, and especially if we have to give up some things. If we need more water, I can always cast rainstorm or cast so we can have water that we need for supplies.
Okay. So you guys need to decide now between you 2 if you're gonna do it. So.
Well, it's just between us.
Yep, between you 2. Because the bird's not going to wait too much longer here.
Neither is Oryx.
I'm not a thinker, I'm a fighter.
Alright, I think we should do it. I think it's worth the sacrifice.
I will trust you.
Okay.
I have a wand in my possession. Oh, yeah.
So Becca, you and Flint come to a quick agreement on what you should do here. The bird doesn't know this yet. It's not really listening to you guys. It's just waiting for you, kind of thing. So while it's hovering, still about 15 feet behind you. So what would you like to do?
Okay, I'm gonna return to the bird and tell him that the agreement is fine. Just ask him if we can remove our supplies from the camels before he takes them.
The bird agrees to wait here.
Actually, I suggest to him that he fly up like 30 or 40 feet, I don't know, maybe even higher, so that I can inform all of my companions and let them know of the agreement, and just so they don't do anything stupid.
So the camel, or not the camel, the rock, you know, it listens to your agreement and it agrees, but it relays back. It'll only wait 10 minutes before it wants its food. Otherwise, it will start doing the agreement.
Okay.
It flaps its wings and it flies way high out of sight where it starts circling you guys in big, wide looping circles, just drifting on the thermals in the desert here, so it doesn't hardly make any effort as it floats through the sky here. At this point, it's hard to see it. It's just so high up in the sky from you guys. So.
Boom. And I figure that's enough of a sign to the group, like, you guys, you handled it.
Yep. So at this point, we're out of initiative here.
I cast Eldritch. No, I'm just kidding.
So
Fireball.
So one camel's tied up. Rurik is still barely holding on to another here.
How many feet in the air do you say it is?
This guy, he's a couple hundred at least.
You better be like 200. Get out of range.
Because I can hit him at 240 feet.
Would you stop it?
You can attempt to hit him.
My range is 240 feet. But yes, I could try and attack him. It's an attack roll, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Normally it's 120, but because I have Spell Sniper, I can do double all my attack range.
So yeah, you could definitely attempt to.
Oh, that bird makes me mad. It's coming down.
So yeah, so the bird's flying up in the sky here. A couple of camels still running around, and they start calming down a little bit, seeing the threat's gone from immediate sight. And Becca and Flint and Estella come and start relaying back to you guys the agreement that was made.
I'm gonna whisper to Estella. Are you gonna give him the new camel? I thought you made him your friend.
No, I don't want to give him the new camel. I don't know. How out of it is Mr. Sneaky?
Oh,
I am Gnomebeard the wizard. I have a wand.
Alright, Sneaky man. Or, Timmy. I say, Timmy, how much room you got on you? And I to, like, carry some of this load.
I will gladly carry all of your gold.
No, the load.
Gold, yes, definitely. Gladly. Here,
Okay.
put it into my pockets.
Well,
I've got a wand. Powerful wizard.
I'd like to approach him and like pat him down and see how much room he's got to maybe hold on to some stuff.
Let me see how much he's.
I want to see if I can find anything.
Alright, so currently he's got a bunch of junk around his backpack, so he can probably hold another 20 pounds. That's about it. So the camel has about 150 pounds on its back. So each camel. So
I'm sure I like this.
Most of this weight is water. Be aware of this. So if you guys were to sacrifice all your supplies, you could safely keep all your water, but you would have a or anything. So.
Do we have stats on what the bag of holding holds? Is that someplace where I can see?
Yeah, it's
Up to 500.
We're like 500.
If you put anything more than 500, all the contents are spilled out, and I think the bag rips.
That is correct. I forgot you stole that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see if I could find on him.
He's really getting fresh.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Timmy, what do you have to offer? Because you're very helpful.
How I feel about your wife feeling me down like that.
I know.
Whoa. That's wife's not doing anything.
So you're feeling around. You still, as you're just going through his pockets, he's just gladly letting you do this here. He seems to be enjoying it as he's casting.
Right. He just tried to get fresh with the giant bird. So.
Yes. So you're doing this, and you go through his pockets, and you're finding some interesting items that you definitely believe you saw on some shelves in the store somewhere here. And then you pull out, you find his bag of holding that he's got his upper pocket, breast pocket there, and you find his bag of holding just sitting there, and you turn it upside down, dump it down, out drops a few sandwiches and stuff like that. He's using it as his lunchbox currently.
Very nice.
Whoa, what is this, Timmy? Do we lose him?
Cricket.
Sorry, I got some yay knocking on the door.
That's okay.
So she's filling you up and found all sorts of goodies in your pockets. You found your bag of holding, which was holding a few sandwiches, which you just promptly dumped on the ground.
And I say, what is this?
I was saving those sandwiches.
I want my sandwich.
You can have the sandwiches. I'll just take this lunchbox.
I want my ham sandwich.
Does he realize what I have?
I don't have any lunch money. Hold on, I'll roll like perception or something.
With disadvantage because you're drunk?
Yes.
Off his handle.
I'm totally lucid here.
Awesome. Alright, so...
You can put him inside. Ooh, Ephraim, come here! I do. Then he suffocates.
Well, yeah, Rurik waddles over to you, wondering what you want.
Put this bag on your head.
Alright, well, I definitely recognize this, right? Because we've seen it in the store before.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Groovy. Well, this will be rather convenient. Alright, I think... Oryx, Flint, what do you guys think? What do we want to put in this bag?
You can put all the water in them, and then you just call out all the water and use it like a geyser.
Because the waters are in...
Rations and stuff.
Yeah. And they're all in their individual sacks or skins or whatever.
Lighten the load.
So the way the bag of holding works is, you guys put stuff into it, whatever can fit into it. You can't put ginormous things into it.
Just put a camel.
But basically, whatever you put into it, the way you retrieve it out is you put your hand into it and you think of the item you want, and it appears in your grasp. So that's how you get items out of the bag of holding.
So this one, it's about the size of like a messenger bag, right? Or is it small?
Hey, yeah.
So it's roughly the size of a messenger bag. Okay. At least the mouth of it is what I'm thinking. So like,
yes. So you can fit things like water pouches and stuff in there, but when you start putting big objects in there, like
you could put like a sword in there. You could put like a bag of gold, things that are really heavy.
Yes. And when you start to put like tents or something that are too wide to fit in it, it won't go. Just because you can't get it in the mouth of the bag.
Right.
Alright, well I suggest that maybe we put all of the water from all the camels in the bag, and what would that put us at?
Oh, let's see. So there's about 120 pounds water on each camel, 50 pounds of supplies, so that's 420 times 3. That's about 360 pounds of water you can put in the bag.
Can the saddle from the sacrificial offerings fit in the satchel bag? Question mark?
So the three pack camels are not wearing saddles. That's just
okay. They don't have saddles. Got it.
It's only the one stray camel that you guys found out
okay.
through the canyons.
Okay, never mind then.
Remind me what riding camel's name is. Do you remember?
And in here.
I did not keep that note.
Cautious and pound resolves purple power.
Okay, no worries. Something fun.
Something
Glurg or something.
Oh, it's Glor or like Gurgle or something.
Gurgle, yeah! It was Gurgle.
Gurgle the camel.
Thank you, Flint.
Yeah, hey, I told you.
Okay, well, I honestly have kind of bonded with Girl, so I'd really like it if we save him and sacrifice 2 of the pack camels.
Okay.
Right,
So
so
there
after
are
like
a
they
few
gave it to
minutes
us
left
anyways.
here of that 10-minute time frame, so you need to finish up decisions fast here while you're doing.
Okay, with the water off into the bag of holding, can we safely move the remaining gear?
Yeah, so there's about let's say 150.
Obviously, no one can ride that
pounds.
camel, but
There's about 90 pounds of equipment left, so you could easily split between the 2, or it could fit on one just fine. You can leave the other.
let's just put it on the pack camel and then use the other one as rideable.
Okay.
In case anyone gets injured or immensely drunk.
Yep. Okay. And then the other 2 camels are now just the lashings left.
Pretty much, yeah. They're bridles.
Okay. All right, Lady Estella.
What would you like to do with
I trust you.
Let him go, or you want to just have him sit still there? Or
For who?
Take them away from the other ones so they don't get started when the bird comes back.
Alright, I would like to take the 2 by the reins. There's nothing on them left, right? Except for reins.
Yep. Straps the leather.
Alright, I'm going to take them about 30-35 feet away from the group and just sit and wait for the bird to return.
Alright, so the bird, its vision's very acute, and it sees you take those 2 camels, and it's watching you, and it was almost about impatient, and it sees you take these 2 empty camels a good distance away, and it starts coming down, and camels, of course, the camels start freaking out again, just from the bird coming down here. So I want you to go ahead and do a
can I smack them so they run off and see if the bird catches them or something?
Yeah, you can do that. So
yeah, because I don't need to hold them. I just want them to go in the opposite direction of us. I'm sure the bird can catch them.
Okay, yeah. So you do that. You let them go, and you smack them. They start running in the opposite direction of the way you guys are. They're running off out into the desert the desert area. So they start going out there running. And the bird, you guys, you hear a loud shriek in the air, and you just hear just a sound of rushing air, and it's like you guys have seen hawks and eagles hunt in the forest before and everything, but this is a whole other game for you guys. This thing it looks like a ballistic missile, and it just smashes those camels. Like the camels are running side by side here, and its talons are out. It has both the talons held out, and it just it grabs them, and it just digs into the humps. You guys see sprays of blood everywhere as it digs into these things.
I was hoping to get a little water.
And, this didn't even stop here. It just grabbed them and kept going and glide back up. And you guys see it start to fly off into the distance here. Just 2 camels just dripping blood everywhere.
Any blue milk? Sorry.
Why blue?
I don't understand.
Just move on. It's a Star Wars movie reference.
I haven't seen the movie.
I know. Move on.
Ew.
Sorry, I was just waiting for the crowds to go away so I can have a nice peaceful theater.
It's all gravy.
I can watch it on Christmas. I don't have anything better to do. Alright, so you guys successfully dealt with the rock here. It went away here. So at the end of our session tonight, everybody's going to level up. I'm going to tell you this now. And we'll take a break here in about 10 minutes here. We'll take a break. So if you guys want to do your level up over the break or wait till after the session, you're welcome to. Just, probably preferably after, so everybody does it at the same time. So you guys dealt with this in a very well done manner here. You have 2 camels left. Some of this, you guys, the time was run out, so you haven't loaded all the supplies up on the other camel yet. That's going to take a little bit of finesse to get it all, situated right here. So what would you guys like to do for the time being here? Would you like to go out further, or rest a little bit after this tense moment? Because you guys are sweating a little bit from running around in the heat here.
Yeah, I'd say maybe get some drinks. Is it nearing dusk?
Sorry, one question at a time here. So, Sneaky, yes, you get your bag of holding back. You know, it feels a little bit heavier now, but you know, so it's not like super heavy. So, but yes, you get it handed back here. So you're in control of everybody's water. And speaking of that, I need everybody to take 1 water away from their inventory because this did do enough to where you guys enough where you're thirsty. So
should be about 10, right?
Correct.
I guess she's at 9. But you guys went out in the daytime though.
What's the?
I was going to say, am I wise enough at this point, being intoxicated, to choose between the bottle of booze or the bottle of water at this point?
That's
Do you have more booze?
How about you do a wisdom saving throw to figure this out? Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
So you know you're holding up a water pouch and you're holding up trying to decide which one sounds better at the moment, and you come to a decision that the liquor bottle sounds much better to quench your thirst. So
I just start chugging.
Okay. So you
Are
do
any
that.
of us paying attention?
What?
Are any of us watching this?
You know, you guys are, you know, you're taking your own drink. Or, you know, I'd say, yeah, you guys see this happening as you're taking your own drink here.
Master Dwarf.
So you guys to.
Can we like do something about it, or do we
Does
care?
No, I say I prefer him this way. We can find out some good info. I can't believe we found a bag of holding on him, guys. I mean, come on.
Does Ephraim's character have greater restoration?
The best part is now I'm a wizard.
No.
He
Got
doesn't.
a few different spells readied up right now.
Nothing that would cure like drunkenness as a condition.
That's a good question.
Hey, don't play for Ephraim.
I'm not. I'm planning on cutting his
Can
throat
I-
while he sleeps tonight.
Can I fill myself a bottle full of sand?
No, he doesn't have anything. But yeah, you can fill whatever you want with sand there.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Except for the bag of holding. Don't fill that with sand.
Ephraim doesn't have anything prepared right now that would help.
Can
Okay.
I fill the bag of holding full of sand?
You can. You can fill as much as you want until you go to the weight
We're
bear.
We're watching him, right?
Yo, you that's up to you. Are you guys watching him?
Oh yeah.
As
We're
we're
watching.
drinking water and he's chugging liquor, filling up.
I would like to
He was
go
on the
and
bag of holding.
relieve him of the bag of holding. Why did we give that back to him? What? We don't. No.
I'm gonna go. Oryx sees what's going on. I'm just gonna go find a shady place to go chill.
Okay.
Wait.
I want to take the bag of holding.
Waiting till dark before we move again.
Okay. So you guys, you know, you take the bag of holding. He had opened up. He started dragging sand for a couple feet before you stopped in there. So you got a couple pounds of sand in the middle in your bag. That's good. That you just know is gonna be a pain in the butt to get out because it's gonna be everywhere in there. And so you guys do that, and you get done with that, and you decide to go rest underneath the rocky outcropping you slept under for another couple hours more, hour more. Because it's around so it's about 6-7 o'clock, so it's around 8 o'clock or so now. After you guys have been resting for a while, so you guys can
Ready to move? Alright, then I will continue onward in the area, I guess in the direction we would go. I assume we have... Do we continue to let Sneaky dehydrate himself? I mean, Oryx. Oryx is indifferent, but I know me as a person.
Somebody needs to take the wand away from him before he figures out how to cast it.
Do you have Arcana? Are you proficient?
My Arcana has a +2.
Be fun.
Does he have it out?
It's clenched in my hand.
Yeah, he's been practicing being a wizard for a while now.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And I have the bag of holding now, right?
Yes, you have the bag of holding.
I'm Noombeard the wizard.
So so you guys are getting ready to leave now. Are you gonna make him ride the camel or walk behind you? Or
I think you'd probably be riding the camel. We'll probably tie him to it.
Okay.
So it doesn't fall out.
So somebody help me put him up on this camel.
Look, I need your help.
Sure.
You know any good knots?
Super Granny.
Good enough. Let's do it.
oh gosh.
So can we relieve him of what's in his hands?
Yeah,
Just
I
toss the
say
camel?
I'll take that from you and hang on to it, and we'll put you up on this so you can not die.
Can we fashion some kind of covering so he doesn't like completely bake all his brain cells off?
So it's good. It's about the sun's at this point. It's not gonna bother you guys.
Okay.
It's definitely
No
starting
big
to
deal
cool off now.
Okay.
This point.
So just enough to make sure that he doesn't fall, and then I'm ready to move to the next, trying to find that oasis.
Okay. So Estella, can you go ahead and roll a we got numbers.
Strength 10.
1d6 for me, please. I remember my symbols here. Okay. All right. So you guys start tracking off through the desert and going through the rocky stuff here, and the desert starts changing into sand dunes. It starts changing into sand dunes. Currently, it's the smaller ones, like you see at the lower end of this picture. The sand dunes look like this, and you guys start trekking through this. First, I need who's going to be the guide? Who's going to be the one leading the way through the desert here? Because you guys are still following the trail. So trail. So
I don't have survival, but would Wookiee knowledge of like using intelligence of how stars work? I guess that'd be survival.
I've got navigation.
Yeah, but your navigation's poo and two right now. I think I had the highest survival.
Alright, so Sneaky whips out his compass, and it's clearly upside down, and he's telling you guys to go the opposite direction.
Okay.
I will, Lady Stella, I will rely on you.
Okay, so go ahead and survival check.
Oops, sorry.
Yep, go left value here, as always. So 6. Okay, so you're going through, and these sand dunes, the sands are constantly shift due to the wind. The wind's picked up enough to be annoying. So little bits of grit always get in your guys' face here. If you guys wear contacts in this time, it would suck like no other. So you guys are going through the desert. And, you're having a hard time following the trail.
Okay.
The light is going down.
Can I cast dark vision and then try survival again?
Yeah.
That was my issue. Sorry, guys. It's getting dark.
So 8 hours, okay? So you cast it, and it helps a little bit here, but due to the shifting sands, the sands are starting to cover up the trail in spots that make it somewhat hard to keep following it. You're good at guessing the general direction, but you make several backstops to try and find it here. Or just because it disappears from sight, you have to look around and trace back 10, 15 feet every once in a while just to find it here. So you're making slow progress. And as you guys are going through the sand dunes here, you guys come between two sand dunes, and you see the remains of a crumbling, dry stone wall that struggles to stay above the sands as they shift. It's these line of stone, these stones here. It continues for about 15 feet before it disappears below the sands. Check here. So, because we're doing nighttime sessions, we're in sand dune. I'm marking things off as I go.
Obviously, the oasis has been buried by the sand. We should cast Fireball.
What's the wand you have here? I don't remember what wand you took.
It was the one from what's her bucket?
What was the wand in the store? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I just put wand.
Wand of the War Mage +1.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have his wand now. Before he got on the camel, I relieved him of his wand.
Okay.
Somebody took my staff.
As you guys are
what staff are you talking about?
Sand dunes get taller and taller here. And at this point, they become hundreds of feet tall. They're huge sand dunes that are just massive. Bigger than any sand dune you've ever seen before. Just piles of the stuff. Whether you like it or hate it, it's up to you to decide here. Joe, go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I need Preston. Go ahead and roll a 1d6 as well.
A 1d6. Okay.
Correct.
What do you want?
Okay. So, as FYI, these are just for my events and stuff like that going on here. So.
Ooh, 5.
That's
Nice.
this.
No problem.
So as you guys are going along here between these giant sand dunes, all of a sudden, Flint, you see the remainder of the sun in the sky here. It's almost dark, but you see little glints off the sand in a far off dune. Flash of light catches one of your catches your eyes here, that you can see. As you just see glinting light in a sand dune in front of you, about 20 feet away, about 10 feet up the sand dune.
Okay.
Ignore it or go for it. Something.
Do I have any indication what it is?
You can't tell from this distance. Just you can tell it's something probably metallic.
Okay.
That's just glinting off. But it's about it's, as I said, it's about 10-15 feet away. But it's off to the east of the trail, where the trails you guys are following the trail north. So
I shall consult with the group and see what they want to do.
That seems intriguing to me.
That's like the distance across a fairly good sized room. Go poke at the guy.
Sounds good to me. Hold on a moment, I might have something for this very thing. I'm gonna use Mage Hand. Boo!
Okay.
And I'm gonna go touch it. I'm gonna poke it.
What's the weight limit on Mage Hand?
10 pounds, I believe. Let's see, 1 minute, 30 feet, 10 pounds, yep. It can attack or activate magical items. But I can physically, like, poke or...
Yeah. I'm just seeing what weight is here of this.
So I want to get... If it's 15 feet away, I can get it up to 30 feet. So I'll just, from where we're standing, do maybe some either like grabbing whatever it is, see if it'll jostle, move, / move some of the sand around it to see if we can get a better look at what it is without getting too close.
1 second here.
You're good.
For whatever reason, Ephraim's thing is not made, so I can't get that.
And if I detect that it's going to open a rift into the abyss and kill any nearby clerics, I pull it immediately.
Very brutal.
Why do you want a character to
I don't know
die?
why, but I can't add item sheet. So, where the heck? I think shields are like.
I have his too. You want me to? Is there something you're looking on for?
It's fine. I don't care. I was just trying to get the weight because it wasn't. All right. So you with the mage hand, you don't feel the efforts enough there to go get next to it here, and you use the mage hands, brush off the sand, try and pull the object down, and you discover that it's a steel shield that is stuck in the ground, or it's covered by the sand, and it has some sort of crude symbol across it, scribbled across it, engraved into it, but you can't tell what it is from that distance.
Okay. Master Flint. Would you be so kind as to accompany me?
Sure.
We're going to go up cautiously, and I want to see if I can detect any traps. I'm going to be very timid about approaching those cursed things. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all a little paranoid, apparently.
Yeah. Let's just say that I didn't.
3 things.
In all real life, we'd all be picking that up.
It's so shiny. Loot! Loot! Pick up the loot! Yeah, I want to approach it. Do I need to do anything for, like, investigation or perception or anything?
Go ahead and do a perception check. Let's see if you notice anything.
And then if we get to it, okay, I want to pull, when we pull it out of the ground, I want to try and history check and see if I recognize the symbol.
Okay.
In any of my sagely actions.
So before we get any further here, let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break here.
Okay.
Use the restroom, go from there, I think.
Deal.
Righto.
I love you, Camel.
Your name is Gurgle.
I love you, Gurgle.
Whoa, man.
Okay, what
First
kind
the
of bird was
bird.
that we encountered?
Now the camel.
Sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What kind of bird was it that we encountered?
A rock, R-O-C. I will enable it on your sheet so you can see it.
Yay, thanks.
I think I do both of these traits. Okay. So you should see it now.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. Oh, I need to. One second, I need to change the name on it real quick. This is a lesser rock. Slightly different.
Well, chicken
Well, I definitely can't be that for a long time anyways, because it's humongous.
Did you say we could do our level up during the break?
If you want to.
Okay, perfect.
No. I prefer if everybody does it at the same time, so we're all the same level and we do whatever happens. So I'd say, yeah, everybody work on your level up here. We'll do that for the next half a shower or whatever. Or if everybody gets done sooner.
The level up was
You guys are
Calling more. I could go invisible.
Yeah, so go level up your guys' stuff.
At will. I can do beasts each. Without doing any spell slots.
You forget.
Yeah, maybe like you.
forget.
I'm gonna make myself feel good about myself. Kind of thinking, looking at these, I'm kind of thinking you do Devil's Sight, 120 feet. I can see it in magical, non-magical, and darkness. I can see normal. But that doesn't help anyone else. It makes it so, like, if someone casts darkness, magical darkness, you can't see anything. But that would make it so
Interesting.
So that could be effective. But I am kind of thinking about the one from Xanthar's Guide. It's really cool, called Aspect of the Moon. Makes it so I don't have to sleep ever again.
That's an interesting one.
Star.
I don't have the book yet, so if it's in there, you'll have to copy and paste or whatever.
Yeah, I'll pull the whole thing in. I've got it over on Indie Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Copy of
Mine is
pasta.
like...
Rules.
I can
Censure
conjure it.
warlock.
Too many things going. Need
Oh.
I really can level up a wizard.
Yeah. If you wanted. You can make that decision while drunk.
Wonder what I could do for classes. A bard, a cleric, a druid, sorcerer, a wizard. But nothing else. Yeah, no need for any of them. So, aspect of the moon. It's a pact of the tome feature. You no longer need sleep, and I cannot be put to sleep by any means.
Wow.
To gain the benefits of long rest, all I do is spend 8 hours with light activity like reading or just keeping watch.
So basically, you can stand watch forever for all of us.
Kind of creepy. Eldritch Night. Gift of the Depths, I can breathe underwater. Not that that's going to help us in the middle of the desert.
Unless you stick your head in the bag of holding or something.
It's true. You got the right idea here.
So interesting. If you can breathe underwater, can you communicate underwater?
Well, as long as air goes past your vocal cords, I imagine so.
Right?
You'll at least gurgle.
Grasp of Hadar. Eldritch Splash, so I can suck things closer to me.
I know 58 spells.
What? No, I'm using online. Online stuff. What? Is what? Is what? You know what you're talking about. That's funny. As a reaction, I can entomb myself. Did you know there's a May feature from Overwatch called Tomb of Levistus? As a reaction, when I take damage, I can entomb myself in ice. I gain 10 temporary hit points per warlock level. Yep, I just go ice, and I'm like, "What's up? Can't touch this." That'd be crazy. I don't know. That's a lot of fun stuff I could change. What do you think, babe? Should I do aspect the moon? That'd just make me so I can have to sleep. But I like sleep, person. Yeah, I think that's probably what Oryx would do that. I personally would. Oryx would. Aspect of the moon it is.
Joe, are you figuring out your own level up stuff? And
I thought we were doing that after.
they were doing it right now, so go ahead and do it now while we're waiting on breaks. Well, I'll give you guys some extra time to do it.
So this is out of the book, right? Well.
Yeah, level 5 for your stuff. I gotta do Rurik. Rurik doesn't get leveled up.
I fly.
Stays.
I could turn into a fart. Gaseous form.
Fantastic.
I'm thinking you guys remember the Animorphs television show? How they would like slowly morph into the. I'm thinking that would be me, except you'd hear like a slowly farting noise. Green gaseous cloud.
I imagine your form as you're slowly.
That makes me so happy.
Ooh. I get an extra attack.
Nice.
So I can attack twice now.
You almost do it 3 times with your what's the things?
Nice.
Yeah, except for I can't add the dumb things back to my.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I can't do it. Add anything to the character sheets on Rurik either.
It's really weird.
I can.
Try it, Preston. Try adding an item.
Add an item? Like what?
Yeah,
which one do you want me to add?
Shield. Add a shield to Rurik. I deleted his and I can't add it back in. It doesn't let us.
What's his is he compatible? Titanium compatible, yeah.
And he should be more than fine to use a shield.
Sure. Well, I think it's a sign. Let's delete him after I loot his body. I have I'm trying to find ways in this encounter to make sure he dies.
Right, I agree. Yeah, try adding a shield to him, Preston. Because I know you have.
I did, but it didn't.
That's what's doing for Joe too. He keeps adding his stuff, or he tries editing his stuff and doesn't let him.
Can you duplicate a person? Try duplicating a dude.
There's no duplicate option.
I'd be scared to do anything with it. Be all derpy.
I wonder if there's any mention on the forums.
Right. Maybe? Alright, that's right. Pattern appears, moment it vanishes, each creature in the area is pattern messy. This is so hard to figure out what to do. So much cool stuff. Oh jeez. Okay, you remember my belly button hunger of or arms of Hadar?
Uh-huh.
There's a hunger of Hadar that basically tears a rift. Basically a gateway to the dark between the stars, a region infested with unknown horrors. Anyone in the area, it's I can cast it 150 feet and it creates a 20-foot sphere. Anything that starts its turn in the sphere takes 2d6. Anything that ends it adds another additional 2d6 of acid. So if somebody casts like Entangle and they can't move or something, then I could just be like, melt. We could torture someone into giving us information.
Yeah, it's so that whatever change they did back on, and they roll this out.
This is so cool.
Yeah, whenever they did, back in October is when they rolled this out. The new character or the new version of the character sheet we're using, it's bugged. So other people are noting it there as well.
Bollocks.
What is this? What is this like? Oh, it's getting deleted.
You're a touch. What? Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. High five. Good job. Oh,
he's back again. Her leveled up.
Yep.
Yeah, to add like 20 spells.
Seriously.
Such pain. Wish they just automatically add them all with get that.
I know, right? Here's one that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Thunderstep. You remember that Misty Step?
Yeah.
It's Misty Step, except I disappear and whoever's left in that area, they take 3d10 thunder damage.
Nice.
So like, I get surrounded, like that thing that Joe and I had fun with all those zombies.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Sneaky, did you get are you getting yours leveled up?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I think I'm doing this right. I was using a tool, but the tool apparently is in a lawsuit with Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah. Wizard doesn't like people making tools for this game for whatever reason. It's kind of ridiculous because
I can speak with plants.
Content that's in books and stuff like that instead of only the open source stuff. So they don't want people doing ads. So they sue. It's ridiculous.
Then they have their paid modules with the officially licensed content, but
yeah,
they're expensive.
I don't know. Also, Preston, I don't know if it's me, but I don't know if Twitch changed a thing. But when I'm tabbed on a different tab for Twitch now, it keeps pausing the stream. And if I switch back to the tab with the stream running, it resumes it.
It could be which are you using, Chrome or Firefox?
It acts like YouTube does on mobile. If you switch out of that tab or something.
Because I know some browsers have rolled that out to keep from having memory leaks and issues with other websites doing crap in the background. But it could also, like you said, it could be Twitch doing like detection for stuff. So I keep mine. I don't minimize them. I just basically just keep them like half screened and then put another thing over the top of them.
Yeah.
Rebecca, can we use the restroom?
Guess what, guys? I can talk to plants.
Oh dear, in a desert.
Yeah. Well, I just like to speak with everything, so you know.
Deserts have plants. You never know what you'll get.
Totally do.
Now you can go out and become a squirrel hunter.
Pretty much.
I've tried it. It's not as pleasant as it sounds. They're sharp.
Yeah, cactuses are crazy.
Yeah.
The worst is the cactus that jumps at you whenever.
Yeah, if you get close enough, kind of thing.
Yeah, those ones really hurt.
I have water breathing too.
Is there any way to indicate that I can take 2 attacks, or do I just remember that?
Just remember it.
Okay.
Keep the note
walk
to yourself,
on water too.
Other than putting it in your character sheet. Not that it's gonna let you.
Yeah, I can't do anything with a character sheet.
Yeah, I don't even know what I should be. I don't know.
I can do some stuff because I added a hit dice and I upgraded my hit points.
Right.
But
I don't know.
where I had my keeping track of my
breathe underwater,
whatever those,
and then
superiority.
Breathe underwater, and then go and find a.
I can no longer add that box back.
Yeah, you'll
a Kraken.
Manually
pull a Luffy. Get it to like you.
Pain in the butt though.
Be pretty cool. Included Becca's gonna pull a Luffy. You can use the breathe underwater, and then speak with animals. Go find a Kraken. Make it a friend.
Yeah.
Hopefully not get swallowed.
If we ever encounter water, never know. We find it in an oasis. So.
True. It could be a mirage. We could try and go swim in it, and then end up dying. Breathing sand.
Actually, my water breathing that I have, I allow 10 other people, other creatures,
really?
To do breathing underwater.
Impressive.
Right? 10 willing creatures. That's a lot. And then I can walk on water if I want.
I could do fly.
Alright, well, I'll be right back.
Move speed. Fly. 60 feet.
Okay.
Ooh, there's so many fun things. Ah, Penny, you got me. Oh. Ow. Hey, that hurt. You hit me in the ear. Gentle, please. Thanks, baby.
Puppy.
Puppies. Puppies. So Sneaky and Joe, what do you got? Kind of awesome.
What?
We're kind of awesome. Besides Sneaky turning into Harry Potter.
Not much for me. I got hit points. I can attack an extra time now.
Oh, nice. So you got double attack?
Yeah, so each turn I get 2 attacks. And then at another, I think at level 10 I get 3 attacks and or something. And then like level 20 I get 4.
Gosh.
That'll be a while.
Crazy. Alright, so here's the question. I'm going to put it up to you guys. Fireball for 8d6 damage, 20 feet. Fly, so we can go pull Peter Pan. Like I can cast it on me and an additional target, anything above the 3rd. Which I think I can do 2 levels above that, so I can get 3 of us to be able to fly, and it gives us move speed of 6. Hunger of Hadar.
What's the name?
What flying thing? Oh yeah, yeah, no, you're talking about Tiberius. Or had both. You're right, he did have fireball.
You could fly and throw a fireball.
I can have 11 spells per
11
time.
spells? That's crazy.
8 spells and 3.
Magic circle. Creature thing. Magic circle's kind of cool. But that thunder step is kind of nice too. 3d10, and it just makes it so I can move out of range and shoot stuff from further away. Hunger Hadar is cool, but not that cool. So we're down to Fireball, Fly, or Thunderstep. Thunderstep only benefits me. Fireball helps us do AoE, crazy damage. Flies just because everybody wants to be Peter Pan.
No.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm leaning toward Fireball and Thunderstep. Yes. I mean, flying's cool, but I can always get that again later. Or I could replace one of my lower level spells with that. But alright, I'm gonna just go Fireball. Fireball done. Go at the default and deal with the rest later. Yes, it for mine. I think good. Yeah.
Alright, how about the rest of you guys? About done?
Yeah, I've added all my spells. I'm good.
Okay. Got all your other bonuses and stuff added in.
Yeah, I didn't really have any this turn, sadly.
Joe and Sneaky, you guys got all your stuff selected?
Well, I'm just adding an attack, so I'm good.
Okay.
And I guess I have more hit points now.
Yeah, that's right. You guys should have more hit points.
Oh, I forgot to change my fighter level. Level 5.
Was
No.
was Ephraim or Rurik? Was he our treasurer?
Nope, that was me.
Okay, making sure he doesn't have all.
Nope, that was me.
In case something happened.
Unless she has decided to put the gold inside the bag holding. Of course, that'd still be Becca. So.
True. That would be.
Oh, apparently I have darkness.
Let me know when everybody's done and ready. We can continue. Just want to make sure everybody's leveled up.
Oh, I'm ready. Oh yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm
Before
ready.
the
Powerful wizard.
everybody roll their HPs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Make sure
That's important.
your whatever hit die plus your Constitution modifier. And what's your level? No, just your Constitution modifier. Yeah. I think that's right?
That's plus your cost.
Or if you read the Roll20 guide, it gives you an average.
True. Do the
So if you
average.
suck at rolling.
You're allowed to take that or roll for whatever one you feel better with.
Now, see, when you're rolling like that,
Okay, so you roll your whatever. Mine was a 1d8, and then you add your
Constitution modifier.
So if you're in your Roll20, or if like
okay.
Oh.
Mine is a whopping 0.
So +8 to whatever your current hit points were. +5 from Constitution. Why do I have a... I'm turning into a tank? I bet you I'm still only half of Flint's health. What do you got?
What?
What's your health pool?
50?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Not quite there. I have a +1 to Constitution, but I'm not even close to you.
I am the meat shield.
I am the warrior.
Alright. Good? Everybody good?
Yep. They're good.
Great.
Mine.
So what are you doing with the shield? You moved your mage hand enough to reveal the shield there.
I got an idea. Flip the shield over. Sit on it. Slide down to him.
Well, you're tied to a camel, so...
I'll go first.
Alright. So we pulled the shield out. We approach the shield, we pull it out. Does anything happen?
Oh yeah, your perception check here. So you're at the sand dune. So who's all over there with sand dune?
I know I am, and Flint I think is.
Okay.
Yeah, he asked me to come along, so I'm there.
I'm there
where are
in
you at?
spirit.
Cool. So I have Rourke and Timmy on the camel.
Rourke is hogging.
Get off my camel, bro.
Stella.
Oh no, I'm not going near that thing.
Not go near the shield. Okay. Sure.
Oh, hello there.
Clarice.
Okay. So, what the heck's going on?
Hey, you want to go for a ride on my camel?
So you guys are, you approach the so Flint and Oryx, you two approach the shield here, and it's sitting above the sand at this point. You guys obviously see it there. It's just sitting there. Your mage hand, propping it up a little bit so you can see it. You don't perceive anything around you. Yeah. You guys don't perceive anything around you at the moment. Just you hear the howl of the wind and everything. It's dark by this time here, so everyone except Oryx can probably see well because they all have night vision. Oryx, the moon's out about a little ways here, about half moon right now. See, there's some light. It's not great light for you.
I have dark vision.
You do have dark vision now?
Mm-hmm. Oh. I've always had dark vision.
What? I thought someone didn't hear.
Someone does.
Yeah, it's me.
Becca.
But I cast dark vision myself.
Becca. So okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, she doesn't have natural dark vision. It's unnatural. Okay, it's unnatural.
Whoa, it's still dark vision. Chill.
I want to go on one side of the shield and see if I can, if it's lodged or if I can hoist it up.
Okay, so you can easily pull up the shield here. You have no issue doing that. You lift it up.
No corpse fingers still wrapped around it or anything?
No, it's dry, but it's very shiny and polished. The shield has been through a lot of sand, so a lot of the details are gone, but it's a very nice shield. On the front of it, though, are some inscriptions on it.
Okay.
From what you can make out, it's a sigil of some kind.
Okay.
It's just there's several symbols and sigils on the front of the shield.
So would I recognize them as not necessarily a language, but magical in nature?
So you detect no magic coming from the shield here.
Okay.
But if you want to try reading it, you can try and go ahead and do a religion check.
Okay. And if it helps me at all, I'd like to do comprehend languages as a ritual. Takes one action as the casting time.
How long does it take?
One action.
Oh, one action. Sorry.
So that's what, 6? Is that a minute? 6 seconds? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And religion check, you said?
Yes, please.
Right, religion, click. Hey, Penny, you wanna come?
So you're examining the shield, and
my baby girl.
And you can clearly read it is in the tongue of gnolls. So some form of draconic.
Okay.
Gnolls are dogs. It's goblin. It's in a dialect of goblin. This is because it's not one you directly recognize just because of the distance, but you do read it's in goblin. And what you read on the shield is a depiction of it's symbols to a minor god, not one you're. I mean, you can recognize they're to a minor god. You just don't recognize the god there too. So it's
okay.
not a familiar one to you. You can perfectly read it. No,
okay.
It's a shield with some kind of god's depiction on it.
Okay, and there's nothing. Do I I believe I have. Can we, I guess, make our way back to the camels? And I want to attempt to cast Identify, just to see if I can glean anything from this, or if it's just a shield.
Okay, so you're taking the shield with you then to do that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you guys walk back over to the camels. A little bit of sand in your boots and everything, because sand's pretty deep here. So you're in those giant sand dunes and everything.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and cast Identify on it.
Yep.
So you got stuff you to sacrifice. Just make sure you get those
if I do
materials. I know you've picked up some stuff. So
yeah, I got the feathers, and I have a. Let me ask you this. I've read it both ways, but I have it in whatever however you want to do it. I've read that the objects aren't consumed unless it says they are consumed. What is your ruling on that? Because I don't, that'll dictate whether or not I'm actually going to do it. Because I only have one pearl, and I'm not going to sacrifice my pearl of power because it's a third of my damage in a day.
Let me consult the player's handbook.
Yay! I'm gonna wait. I know that there's some spells that'll say XYZ worth XYZ and is consumed upon use or something like that, but then some other spells don't, and so I don't know if...
Right. So the player's handbook says if a spell states that a material component is consumed by the spell, the caster must provide this component for each casting.
Okay.
So unless it says consumed...
It does not say consumed. Okay, I'm going to use this Pearl of Power, which I assume to be worth at least 100 gold.
So from what I can take from this is you need those components for a focus kind of thing.
Yes.
Focus the spell through.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, so I'm going to focus through my Pearl of Power, and I have that owl feather with the component pouch I got earlier. And I'm going to try and identify this object. So I guess as I kind of clutch in my hands, close my eyes. My eyes.
You're going to interfere with the magical spell with a magically charged item, which may cause it to do what?
Know it. Know it.
I'm the one with the low wisdom.
Actually, I only have 13, so I'm pretty low too.
You mutter a few words as you're touching the shield. You know, your eyes briefly flash with magical energy here, and from what you can tell on the shield, there's no magical properties about it whatsoever.
Okay, so it's just a
simple steel shield.
Just a simple shield that's a +2.
No, it's not even that. It's just a steel shield.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. The shield is a +2 to AC, just a standard, like every other shield.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll just say, well, if anybody would like a shield, it seems to be just normal. Nothing peculiar about it.
Oh, it's shiny. I like shiny shields.
Shiny.
I have 0 proficiency, I think, for shields, so.
You could dual wield shields, Joe.
Say what?
I said you could dual wield shields.
Think of the bashing you could do with that.
So you guys just want me to stand there and take damage?
No, not at all.
Attack. He cannot do that. Think of all the action he's gonna miss out on.
I know, right? I'm gonna just say, Master Flint, which this seems to be just a normal shield. Would you like to have it in your stores?
Is it better than the one I've got?
It's just a normal shield.
Standard shield.
It might be shinier, but that's it.
Put it in Orc's pack until he's overburdened, but he's on a camel, so it doesn't matter.
I'm on a camel.
Take it along just in case one breaks.
All right. We will. Can we fit it in? Is it too large to fit in our bag of holding?
I'm gonna go with yes. It's just too wide to do that.
All right. So I'm gonna take the bag of holding, or the shield, and I'm going to just put it on my back. Hold on to it.
Are there bag of holdings with a larger opening for that such?
There are some, but most of them are generally smaller than the size you have. So usually meant to place like coin pouches and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So there's various types. You guys have one of the larger size ones, so there's a few sizes larger that can fit bigger things. They're more of like sack.
Question: when you were pulling shield, were you pulling the item or the spell?
Item.
Just curious. I was pulling the spell earlier.
I was pulling the spell earlier too, it looks like.
Because now I have shield as my spell. That's not right.
You're not a paladin.
I'm a paladin. A paladin.
Oh.
You can self-identify as
Well,
whatever
you
you want.
said that I look in the spells for him. He's got 4 shield spells.
You cast it once and it echoes. It's an echo shield.
Right.
Shield. You're making a
One
mess.
second, one second. Let's see.
Ah. Oh no, you're gonna
add that back in there. It does. Great. Anyways. Alright, so
thank you.
one second,
You wanna give it to Mama?
all this stuff here.
Hey, you can give it to Mama if you wanna share.
Alright. So you guys acquired this
baby.
shiny, very shiny shield. It's polished, smooth. It's actually a fantastic looking shield just from being in the desert. So you acquire the shield, nothing of note here. You grab it, and you guys go on your merry way, just going through the very tall sand dunes. And so as you're going through them, it's about 2, 3 a.m. about this point here. The desert's pretty cool, so it's not exactly warm for you guys and the camels now, but it's not freezing. It's luckily still summertime, so freezing temps aren't there. But it is cool. So about half night has passed here. So everybody go ahead and take 1 drink of water away here. You guys need a reduced amount for the night.
Tonight.
Yes.
Am I starting to sober up?
You're starting to get there. That extra liquor bout did not help anything, so you're still pretty bad. Probably about another 6 to 8 hours for you to become a reasonable human being again.
So my question at this point, am I passed out? Am my hands tied? Am I able to get another bottle of liquor out? And do I get to do the wisdom saving throw to see whether I drink alcohol or water?
So I don't believe your hands are tied. Your legs and stuff are tied to the saddle and everything, so you don't fall out. Or, it's around your waist, so you have access to all your stuff if you can manage it.
Do it. Chug.
So what do you want to do? Are you trying to get something out of your pack and go for more?
Yeah, how high of a wisdom roll do I have to do in order to choose the water over the 3rd bottle of alcohol?
Well, let's just say
one of my flaw is I did put a drunkard.
Yes. Let's just say your flaw is definitely playing into this right now. How many bottles do you have, though? This would be number 3.
This will be my last bottle of booze.
Okay. So yeah, so you definitely are preferring the liquor still at this moment.
All right. I pull out the bottle of booze and I can sing to her. Oh, lovely bottle of booze that makes my belly swing. I wish that you were more, but I drink and I don't know, something like that.
It's not bad.
I love it.
Right. So you guys go singing and bottle of booze. He's getting ready. You guys are all just super excited for what's to come here. Sure. All right. So so can I get Estella or Becca and Joe to roll a 1d6 each, please?
Yeah, you want.
Okay. Right. Great. Okay, so you guys, the morning starts coming back here. Light's starting to come up here. No, it was a fairly easy bout of travel here. And as you're going along here, all of a sudden you guys hear a loud thump noise again here. And you guys are noticing it. It's the rock. The rock is, you hear the rock flying overhead here, You guys are all craning your neck up above here, and you notice it has something in its talons here. It's not something big. It fits in one talon easily. It's and then as it's flying over you guys, all of a sudden it lets this go here, and
Ah!
yeah, basically lets out a squawk of. So Becca, you make out this squawk. You understand it from your when you were talking with it before here. It's a squawk of thanks, and as it drops this thing, it comes tumbling down here, and it hits the sand, and it bursts open here, and you guys see glittering objects fly everywhere.
Ah!
A little small 5-foot radius here.
Camel guts everywhere.
It's about 10 feet to your left is where this box burst open. So
I'm freaked out.
Midshipmen, go forward and explore the treasure. Identify the goods and prepare to put it in the chest.
You say that, you start steering your camel towards it. I don't know.
Okay.
Rolling forward, but...
I was just rolling to see if I'd freak out and shoot a Eldritch Blast in the general direction of whatever screamed. But my constitution, it was if it was below a 10. I do not. I hold fast.
Right. So you startle yourself a little. You guys startle yourselves from the crash here and everything. Timmy he's drunk off his butt here, so he doesn't give a care. He steers the camels towards it, and of course he's not able to steer because the reins are being held by Rurik. So he acts like he's steering it towards it, and the camels start going that way because Rurik starts pulling them towards
Where are
it.
we going?
And you guys come up to this smallish metal box. It's about, I'd say, about 2 feet by 3 feet, and it's about 2 feet tall. So it's a small crate here. From what you can tell on this metal box, and whatever's not broken apart on it, so it has various etchings, and from what you guys recognize as Sanskrit of the people of Kalimport here. The box looks like it's been well worn, though. I mean, it's rusted. It's not really rusted, but it's worn out from the sand. It's made of a softer metal, kind of like iron.
Remind me, the Pasha we spoke with, he was more interested in us deposing of this rebel other person group, correct? Not recovery of certain items?
Correct. So Pasha Azari is one you take over the oasis currently held by Pasha Misfar.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I want to investigate what kind of loots we got.
You guys start looking at this, and inside the box there's one smaller metal box there, and then additionally you see strewn about there's a bronze crown, a cracked brass mug with some jade inlays on it, and from what you can tell, it cracked from the impact and the crash here. One of you guys happens to see the glinting of a gold ring set with bloodstones in it. Additionally, you guys see 3 shattered ivory statues of what you can assume were elephants. They're in pretty good shambles at this point. Additionally, you find a shattered potion vial, the liquid contents just slowly seeping into the sand.
Stupid
and lastly, you see a black cloak. It's a very finely woven cloak here, but it's black on one side and a lighter blue on the inside of it. It has a hood on it and everything.
Is it halfling size?
It's currently it currently is a bit bigger than halfling size. It looked like a trench coat to you. So
Can I?
Your first glance at it, though.
Looking over these items, do I sense anything arcane about them? Any of the items?
Go ahead and do an Arcana check. Anybody who wants to.
Oh no! Drop the mic. I think this might be magical. Actually, my dear fellow, I'm a druid and I know better than you.
So all of you guys, as you're, examining the different items here, you for sure you feel the ring and the cloak have some sort of magic essence in them. Whoever, one of you guys happen to be examining the potion or the potion vial, and you could definitely sense some sort of magical remnants from that as it's seeping into sand, though it probably won't be recoverable. But definitely this ring and this cloak have some sort of magic property to them.
I want to try and identify the ring.
Yeah, I want to try the cloak on.
I want to try to put the magic potion into the bottle that I just emptied, so that I have a bottle of magic sand.
How are you gonna do that? You're on a camel.
I'm probably by this moment wiggled to the point where I'm dangling upside down from the bottle.
Are you just scooping it off upside down here, underneath the broken vial with the camel standing there?
Camel's peeing in his head, on his face.
He's catching that in the vial too.
This is magic camel sand.
One second, I need to read your identify spell one more time here.
I'm gonna be casting it as a ritual. The magic item or magic imbued object, I learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement, and how many charges it has.
There, I rolled acrobatics.
You're bobbing and weaving and dodging the golden arches.
Trying, as I'm hanging upside down from the camel saddle, trying to put the sand into the bottle. The sand that's soaked with the potion. I've got
That's quite the visual. And mind you, this is on the ring, not on the cloak, because I'm assuming that Stella is
I
looking
wanted
at it.
to check the cloak out.
Everybody wants a black cloak.
A little black cloak.
I've got some scissors.
Flint, do you suppose we might be able to sell some of these ivory shards? What do you think?
They can make them into smaller ivory elephants.
Indeed. I figure Flint being an artificer of stones and other materials, perhaps.
Alright. So as you examine the ring here, that one first time. So you examine the ring, you discover it's a ring of feather fall. Basically, it's a ring that, from what you can intone, would let you fall slowly and safely to the ground.
Okay.
From a height. And it lasts about 30 seconds on a charge here, so you can float about 36. Did I read that right? You can last about 30 seconds. Leave.
Okay. I'm going to communicate this to the group. It seems we have a magical item here. It seems to be a ring that would, enable whoever would attune to it. Does it have a requirement on attunement for different types of people?
Yes. So it does require attunement, but I read it wrong here. So when you fall while wearing this ring, you descend 60 feet per round and take no damage from falling. So you can do that.
Okay. So at this point, what's the attunement requirement? I'm assuming it's going to be a druid, a sorcerer, wizard, those types of folks. Or is it just anybody?
I don't know how attunements work.
That's okay. Attunement, you have to spend be in physical contact with it, and I think it takes an hour to attune it.
Attunement. No class requirements for this.
Okay. So, my dear fellows, it seems anyone might be able to use this. Does anyone have a particular reason, or I've heard of other mages being able to fly and such, and this may come in handy should they break concentration, but I don't know that any of us spend enough time in the air for it to make sense for any one particular person. Does anybody have an opinion?
I'm flying right now. I definitely need a flying ring.
Yeah, so,
flying ring?
It requires a short rest while touching the item continuously, or you need to be performing some activity in which you innately activate. So,
like flying as a bird?
Well, flying would not activate it. It'd be the act of falling that might.
Oh, so gotcha.
Because it's feather falling, so it's slow fall, basically.
Okay.
So the other item is a black cloak. Estella, you put it around you, and though you feel magical energies, you're not entirely sure what it is just yet.
I can do
it does look like
the ritual.
Cloak of an animal kind of thing. It's shaped like, I won't say the wings of an animal, but I can't describe it. But you're not sure what it is, what it does here yet. You just know when you're touching it, it is very smooth to the touch. Like this isn't a leather or a cloth feel. This is like a very smooth material. Like not on something you'd find on normal land.
Okie
Or your things pointing up.
So at the moment, you can't tell what it does. It is very warm, though. It's very cloak in this for this kind of environment. So just be aware of that.
All right. Well, I will not wear it. Do I? I was putting it on though. Does anything happen when I put it on?
It does not that you notice. So you can put it on. You play with putting the hood up, putting the hood down. Swirling a little bit. One thing you do notice from it, it does fit more to your size, so it's not dragging on the ground. It's more of a halfling cloak size.
So it shrunk a bit?
It did shrink a bit. So that's
awesome.
Magical items, they fit the person that's wearing it.
Brilliant.
Master Sneaky, would you be interested in trading me the thing for your wand? I know you're a wizard.
I'm a very powerful wizard.
This will make you even more powerful so that you can fly really high and impress the ladies when you don't splatter on the ground.
I've got my wand here somewhere. Yep, definitely here somewhere.
I'm gonna wink at it.
What do you need a wand for?
I wanted to see what it does. I don't have any reason for this ring. Unless you're going beast mode, airplane, bird thing.
No, I don't think I need it either. Did you take flying as a spell?
No, not this round. I can probably switch it, but I didn't bother doing any level switching on my spells right now. Because that would take me all night to figure out.
I think I'm agreeing to the trade of the wand.
I'll toss you the ring.
So I think it's kind of a toss as to what's more valuable, though.
Yeah, to me it's whatever. Like, honestly, the only reason I would ever even use it is if I was flying. And so I'm just thinking anyone who's doing acrobatics or is up in the air, and it feels like of all of us, you're in the air more often than not, climbing through windows and such.
Yeah, okay, so I will hand Oryx
I think I catch it.
Yeah, I toss you the ring. See if you can catch it.
I held on to this just in case he was doing something.
I thank you.
You know.
Can I want to just identify the wand and the thing. Spend a little time figuring out what everything does, because I don't want to touch anything that's cursed.
So you recall from being in the store, you were told it was a wand of the War Mage +1.
Wand of War Mage, got it. Okay, and then
in the compendium.
The cloak.
Yes.
I want to identify that.
Okay. Can you keep casting it?
It's a ritual, so I can do it as long as I have time.
Okay. So just FYI, the sun is starting to come up. You guys are in the middle of the desert here. It's not warm yet; it's still cool. So I'm just letting you know here, just so you know the weather-wise. So, so you start identifying it. You start cast your spell, and this one takes you a bit longer. This one's a bit harder because its properties aren't becoming very apparent very quickly in this environment here. What you do find out is that a cloak of the manta ray. So the reason why you guys couldn't discover what this cloak did when you wore it earlier is because it doesn't really have an effect on land. But when you're in the water, it allows you to breathe underwater and then also be able to swim 60 feet, I believe.
Well, Miss Stella, it seems you have quite the object there. And I detail to her what it does.
Yes. And I add some description to my items.
And this is in the compendium as well.
Yeah, I just added it.
I'm hoping this helps for you, Bonefish. That way you don't have to like retroactively do like 100 of them later.
It's up to you. You mix whatever.
Yeah. For you. Okay, so we got that. And I guess we want to just gather up the rest of the ivory.
It's up to you guys.
So quickly. If you want it, let's take it and let's go.
The broken ivory statues, 3 of them. There's the cracked brass mug with jade inlay, a bronze crown, and then a small metal box that you guys haven't inspected.
I've got room in the sack if we need to put it in there, and just we can look at it when we get to somewhere not so hot.
We'll just take the rest of those things, and if you want to put them in the bag of hope.
Can do.
All right. So,
where's a good place to? Sorry, it was echoing. A good place to store what's in the bag of holding.
I think if you
piece of paper.
Yeah, piece of paper, or you can just say your total weight minus whatever you're not in bag.
Yeah, I don't know. You track it however you feel best. If you want to do it inside your inventory, that's fine. If you don't, I mean, you can create out in your inventory that's just for bag of holding it.
Yeah, it has it's a 15-pound bag, and then I guess I could just itemize inside of that and such.
Yeah, it's probably best.
So also, how many pounds of water was it? 350?
120 times 3, 360. 360 pounds in there right now with the water, plus a few pounds for sand and things to you guys' drunkard.
Okay, and what else do we just put in it? Shards of ivory.
Yep, so shards of ivory, cracked brass mug, bronze crown, and a small metal box.
So was I able to get the potion-soaked sand stuffed into the bottle?
So let's see. You did that stuff. Advantage, disadvantage. All right. So I would say you were semi-successful. You as you're hanging upside down, you were scooping wet sand back into that bottle. So you got the majority of the sand in there is wet. So about I'd say 75% of the sand you scooped back into that vial is wet. Wet sand from whatever chemical was in it.
I wave it at the wizard. Identify this, wizard.
He just stepped out, but I'm sure he would have identified it still.
So you hand it to him. He he gives a sigh of exasperation as he's looking at this, wondering what futile effort. You know, he does his little muttering chant here for a few moments, and his eyes light up because he's in obvious surprise here. He was not expecting anything to come out of this, and he doesn't know how to explain it properly to you. He's like, this is well, it was a potion of growth. Now it's a sandy potion of growth. So, you know, you take it as you will. It has properties of the growth potion spell, or the growth potion, a potion of growth, but in sand form. So, however you plan to ingest that, you can use it as you will. You know.
Okay, and one more time, the mug was what kind of mug?
It's a cracked brass mug with jade inlay. So I you know, if you just want to put brass mug, that's fine. I have notes on mine.
Okay, and what kind of box was it again?
Just a small metal box.
Open it.
We will open it in a minute.
We
gotta go, guys. Gotta find shelter.
It's true, you do.
My nature senses are tingling. Come on, let's go.
All right, so who's our leader of the pack here? So whoever it is, go and do your survival check.
I'm the captain, I'll lead.
Okay.
Okay, can I roll my inspiration?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll a 1d10. Add it on to that.
Go home, Sneaky. You're drunk.
Yeah, so Sneaky, your compass at this point, it's just pointing steadily in circles. And you're trying to lead the camel around, following it in those circles, constantly spinning around because you're trying to follow it. All right, so 21 then for Becca there. So Becca, you know, you take a quick look around here. You start following the trail here, and it's very sandy for quite a while here. These dunes are very, you know, they start reducing in size. You guys know, you guys have been hiking for miles at this point. And it's starting to warm up here again. And today seems to be an especially hot day. Even this early in the morning, hot very quickly. You guys look at the sky, you see a single lone cloud floating across the sky. And otherwise, you know, it's starting to get very hot. You guys will know this be a scorcher here. But luckily, not luckily, you guys, you know, you guys start coming to the edge of the giant sand dunes here, and it starts turning. Sorry, it doesn't turn into. You guys, when you come to the edges of these giant sand dunes, the area of these, you guys notice from a large salt flat, like shimmering flat salt, like Salt Lake area kind of thing.
Okay.
Salt flats that stretch for miles as far as the eye can see. So it just stretches for miles and miles here. So the closest shady area you guys would have at the edge of the sand dune next to you. Otherwise, you see no shelter for anywhere close by.
But we have tents, right?
You do have tents. That is correct.
Yeah, how good are these going to protect us from the sun?
So they'll keep you out of the sun perfectly fine. It'll just be a very hot. So I would say if you guys are going to do your long rest here with this in the sun, you guys you'll get a short rest worth in a long rest period. So you'll get whatever that is from.
Okay.
Some of a bag or something, but you will not be able to get a long rest.
And what time of day was it?
It's morning. It's about 8 o'clock or so. So the sun's starting to come up, but it's getting very hot very quickly. And you think it has to do something with these salt flats, of course, because it's just reflecting the sunlight in here. So what would you guys like to do? Going? You camp out? You guys have been traveling all night. So.
Okay, so if we rested for 8 hours, that would just be like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay, so if we rested a little bit longer, could we potentially have a full recovery? Like if we rested longer than 8 hours?
I'd say if you did, you'd have to leave more around 10 o'clock at night to get that full rest there. Because you only get about 2 hours worth of a short rest for that 8 hours.
Okay.
So if you get another 6 hours in, you guys probably could rest when it starts cooling down, and then leave when it's later. So it's up to you.
Do any of you guys need a long rest?
You guys haven't been in any combat or anything, no spells.
Yeah.
Am I finally sober?
You're about there. You're very edges of it. No, you drank that other bottle. What am I talking about? No, you're nowhere near sober.
At the end of
You're at the end of bottle 2 by this point.
At the end of bottle 3.
I mean, like alcohol levels in your body is it's third bottle's now playing into effect for the next 8 hours.
I want to for the 8 hours while everyone else is resting, I want to do the try and transcribe some of those spells.
So just real quick here. So that lone cloud you guys saw guy, you guys, one thing you do notice about it seems to be bizarrely moving against the wind. So like the wind is like you can tell the wind is blowing in one direction visibly from the sand blowing around, but this cloud is moving in the exact opposite direction towards the source of the wind with no effort.
Okay.
Just FYI. Just FYI.
Okay.
So.
It's a sneaky cloud.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end it here at this point. And we'll come back next week and
it's Goku. He's on his Nimbus cloud.
Adventures. So you guys are. We'll say you guys stop here at the edge of the desert, and we'll decide resting and stuff like that next time.
Okay. Sounds.
You stole my bag of holding.
Hey, I traded. He stole. I traded. I'm a very honest butcher of things, okay? Just because I mutilate corpses does not mean I'm a bad person.
Well, that's debatable there.
And just because Asmodeus is my papa dude that gives me powers doesn't make me a bad guy, you know?
I think it does, actually.
Yeah, you're probably right. You gotta make sure.
So I switched the way I started to play my character, because I wasn't drinking before, but every chance I get alcohol, it's like falling off the wagon, I'm going to drink alcohol. And I'm probably going to drink one of these two red liquid vials. I don't know what's in it. It just says red liquid vials.
Oh gosh, I'll have to look at my notes to see what's in them. I don't even know at this point.
Suddenly shrinks to like a flea-sized person.
Were they from the shop you picked up?
Yeah, I have notes on. I just don't know what it is actively.
No, I'll probably die of dehydration because I haven't had water in 2 days.
Well, I splashed a little bit on you when I was trying to wake you up.
At this point, that's had no effect. He's gonna have one heck of a hangover when he wakes up. How about that? I don't know if I'll let him be conscious with the hangover he's gonna have.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't give the bird the riding camel, I guess.
I know, right?
I'm just kind of lazy to kill him.
I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah, well, you guys keep outsmarting all the things that want to eat you. So.
I know. I was like, all right, well, if I shoot it, then this gives me a chance to kill Ephraim. But
well, I have no issue with Ephraim or whatever his character's name is.
I do. He's a cleric. I'm a devil. I have plausible, logical cause for killing him. In cold blood.
If I shot, I don't know if I would have hit the bird, Stella, the camels,
the cleric.
Most likely would have been me.
I still think we should see if he'll want to stick his head in to see if he suffocates in the bag of holding. Hold his head.
You could just make him another pack meal. And a hillbot.
Permanent polymorph into a camel or an elephant.
It's a spell, isn't it? Polymorph?
I think it only lasts an hour though.
There you go.
Polymorph?
We need to see if we can figure out a way to increase the duration of the spell.
Which spell?
The polymorph.
Polymorph.
Make it permanent. So
You guys can make that effective. Definitely go and do that.
You're a wizard.
He comes back. All right, guys, I'm ready to play. Yeah, about that. You're a horse.
A pack horse.
A donkey. Remember, he's
He's
small.
making waffles.
He can't be a horse. He has to be a donkey.
Donkey. It eat my belly.
A donkey with the healing powers.
Right.
Watch out, it spooks.
Tweet.
Alright, well. Are you guys good to play next week?
Uh-huh.
Yep, we are.
Yep, I am.
Joe, Sneaky, you guys want to play next week?
Yeah, I'm good next week.
I haven't planned that far ahead, so I'm guessing it's okay, but my family knows that I'm off this next week.
Roger.
So I don't know if they've made any plans without telling me, but and that does happen often. My dad's kind of a pain that way. So if anything comes up, I'll let you know, but as far as I know, I should be good.
Garrett will stop showing up occasionally or end up beating you to something.
That's right, I'm a hardy dwarf. It's bad for stage.
1 week something. 2 weeks is another thing. 3 weeks? Apostasy.
Yeah, I haven't missed a week yet, so give me a break.
Good.
Yeah, you've earned it. Especially with all the beating you took in the zombie horde.
Yeah, that zombie craziness. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna just up the ante next time. We're not gonna let this happen anymore.
Let what happen?
Utter destruction on a horde that should have utterly wiped you guys out. Or, made you guys run away like was the intention. Not happening at all.
I think the DM's getting angry.
Bruh.
We didn't realize that running away was even an option at that point, I don't think.
No, they called it out a few times. And Joe and I were like, let's do it! For glory!
Run away! Break the bridge so they can't get across! Run away! Oh no, they jumped across the broken bridge.
They broke the bridge so they can't get away from us.
We are the order of the zombie process.
Yes.
Yeah. So, the rock was supposed to incite some terror into you guys. there. That is.
I just said, oh, we can be friends.
I was so excited to see how much damage it would do.
Seriously. I'm hating your druid right now so much.
Right? She's just so...
She's too friendly.
Charismatic.
That's okay. Just keep that in the back of your mind that Oryx will fight if provoked.
Actually, she's not very charismatic. She just is very, like, wants to charm everyone. No, she just wants to charm everyone.
Manipulative?
Okay, whatever. She just wants to charm everyone.
I'm so charming. But you did it. So the cool part about my dude is I have most of the spells in the book at my disposal, but I can only cast 2 of them in a day. Plus one of my other, whatever it's called. So my dude is very versatile, but he burns out quick.
I can cast 8 spells. No. More than that. 4, 7, 9.
I say we give up the quest where we're going to get lost in the desert and die anyways, and go to the rock's nest and kill the parents and then raise the chicks to be mounds.
Rock riders. Rock riders.
Or we could just convince the parents to let us raise their children and take them with us.
If by convince you mean kill the big bag of hit points and get lots of experience points.
Uh-huh. And then take the babies and make them pet baby chick.
Stockholm syndrome.
I don't know how you guys are doing that, but
come on, I have all the fun ideas. This will be fun.
yeah, but can you speak with animals?
Yes, it's called a rod.
And animal friendship and whatever. I've got so much animalness. Now I can talk with with plants too.
What is she talking to? I don't know.
I can even conjure animals, like up to 8, I think.
Oh, good luck with that, Bonefish.
Yeah, I can conjure 8 beasts of challenge rating 1/4 or lower.
Fun fact. There's a glitch, if you will, in the system that allows for Becca, for instance, if she conjured a bunch of sprites that can cast polymorph, she could cast the conjuration, and I think you could get like 4 or 5, I can't remember how many it lets you. I want to say it's 4, maybe more, but you can get the sprites to come. You can then tell the sprites to cast polymorph on 4 people, turn them into T-Rexes, and then go hide. So as long as their concentration doesn't break, we stay as T-Rexes. And we do a lot of damage.
I think that's a good idea.
I promise, Bonefish, I will not cast this spell.
You can definitely
Which spell is that?
Your conjure woodland creatures. You can conjure some fae, the sprites.
Oh, yeah. I can conjure animals, and it says it has to be a fae animal or something.
Sprites can do casting spells, and as long as they survive and have concentration.
Are you talking about fae spirits?
Maybe, I don't remember. One of the two.
No, they have to take the form of beasts. So
there's a discussion on YouTube that was about it, talking about how broken a strategy it is, because then you have reach, a massive bite, a huge fat pile of hit points, and everybody just runs around like a T-Rex.
Well, and then when those people get knocked down to 0, they go back to their original hit points too.
Mm-hmm. As long as the sprites maintain concentration. So, it's pretty cheap. But I thought it was a pretty funny idea to run around as T-Rexes and be like, alright, hey look, we found a loot box. Okay, who's gonna pick it up? I can't reach, my arms are too short.
That's how we'll kill the rock parents and get their babies.
Eat them all.
We'll probably be on the other side of the universe by the time I get that spell.
Corey, did you hear about what happened to to Aurora last game?
No.
So she just got her panther. She's a ranger. Okay. And this panther comes up and they have some fun. There's a lot of just random craziness that ensues. But long story short, they go out and a random encounter comes and they're fighting a patrol of hobgoblins that are actively looking for them. Hobgoblins have an AC of 18 and hit points of 11. Right. So they're stupid hard to hit, but if you hit them, you can kill them pretty easy. So these dudes are running around. And they start to fight, and they get the fight ensues. They kill two of them. Becca decides that she's gonna sit and do the same thing she did to your bird, and Parlay convinces him to stand down because she rolls high enough on charisma. She's a paladin, and then they do a duel to the death or whatever. But just before this happens, Clandon, one of the other rangers, shoots across the ravine. He sees what's going on. He doesn't know that she's parlaying, so he shoots an arrow. So Becca, she decides to block it, but with one of her shields. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So I needed him to... which one? One of her reactions, shield or something. And so she shoots, or he shoots, and I'm like, okay, well, somehow it got messed up. I'm like, okay, we'll keep the damage that you did. Go ahead and roll again. If it's anything, you know, but a 1, you know, you should be fine. It'll just fly past him. And so he rolls again. He rolls a natural 1. And so then it hits the panther that his wife just got and kills the panther.
Because he shot it in the butt.
He shot it in the butt.
That's not the bad part.
And then
he
goes and he's like, wait, before you heal it, I'm going to pull it out. I'm like, okay, do a medicine check. He rolled was it a 4 or a 1? Yeah. It was like a 3 or 4. He rolled stupid low. And so I was like, okay, you pull it out. And the panther now has 2 failed death saving throws because you dealt damage to it. And so it almost dies. And then Becca comes over and heals it back up to full health. And the rest of the time, he was just in the doghouse. It was really funny. So poor K-Poc almost, his wife, Sarah is her name. She was so mad at him. It was hilarious.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because I cast protection, and that meant that the creatures within target, they were on disadvantage, so we had to reroll.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the stream tonight. I know it was a little slow pace, but we all got it all finished here, so thanks for coming along. Thanks for being a part of it. Kill the stream now. Catch you guys later.